I think I'm 14 when that was a thing. Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me a sec. How old was I when I found out what that song? When I God, I remember because this girl named Audrey who sat in front of me in English, we like flirted in the weirdest, most like public ways that like in retrospect make me wince. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? All right, let's see photos. Oh God, dude. Oh God, it's so dude. These are bad. What was I doing? I thought I was cool as fuck. All right, hold on. Let's pull up all the throwbacks we can. I've got some ones from when I was 15. Yeah, we can go by the years. Oh, this is so bad. All of it's so bad. I don't want to. I'm going to show it. I don't want to. This is weird as fuck. I thought I was so fucking cool, man. I thought it was like I smoke weed because I had done it once, and it was like to me like I was fucking sick for that. Thank God Wake smoked weed, you know what I mean? So he could be cool. You get the whole evolution of Wake here. I just want to show you all the worst photos. They're all so bad. Puberty was just brutal. I haven't looked at these photos in so long. I'm going to start here. Let's start in the 8th grade. This was me in the 8th grade. Was very cool. I had swoopy Bieber bangs. I wore only skate brands. I could only ollie. I was very cool. I had a lot of DC and a Volcom, and I could only ollie at best. This was me as an 8th grader. I was 14 years old, and it is still humiliating. Let's get some other photos from that day. This is clearly on someone's fucking Motorola Razr. I'm doing pussy fingers to symbolize to you that I was eating pussy. I did not know how to eat pussy, nor had I seen one at that point. But I needed to make sure people knew I was eating pussy. So yeah, I mean, I was 14, so it just hadn't really fallen into my lap at that point. But you know, yeah, it's all about marketing. You know what I mean? So this was me again, same night. Very cool, very fun, very quirky, very silly. You had Grayson hair? No, I had Wake Wilder hair at the time. That was the hair that every kid had. It was very Bieber. So we get to see a true unraveling here. So 14 was fine. How would you approach girls at the time? So I think my de facto strategy back then was poking on Facebook and silently sitting in the corner hoping they'd talk to me. Was kind of a big one for me. So let's see what happened between then and what would then be my freshman year. My freshman year was not kind to me in any way. Very few people's freshman year is kind to them, but ours was brutal. Ours was really not a good feeling. We did not do well. And every time I'd wear a bandana, I went to a school that had a lot of gang activity in middle school, and I was always essentially skewered for it. But I thought I looked very cool and fun, so we kept wearing it like true rebels. Wow, there are like no photos of me from the 9th grade. Rightfully so. It was not the best time. It was not the best time for all Wake. So we don't actually get a lot of early 9th grade, which was really bad. This is as good as we get. I'll open this up. Okay, so this was me in the 9th grade. My face got kind of fat, and I just got a weird hairstyle, and my nose started growing really quickly. I mean, that nose just kept going and going and going. I looked like a predator. I think I was trying to make like an ironically sexy face, like an you know, like a tiger. I was pulling up my pants leg, and I wore a hat that wasn't doing anyone any favors. I was not particularly sought after at this point. This was a bad one. This was a bad stretch. All right, next up, here's a bonus photo of me my freshman year. I started something called Cozy Days, where people would wear slippers and a full sweatsuit to school, and I would sleep in class. This was algebra, and that was it. So we did that. Yeah, Cozy Days were big. I've now made that every day. Same pant. Yes, these are the same pants. I was wearing OTK sweats back then. Did you play hacky sack too? No, I was too uncoordinated. My friends did, because we smoked weed, and people who smoke weed also hacky the sack. All right, so now let's start getting into the real nitty-gritty of Wake Wilder development, which was all of the 9th grade and the braces phase where I didn't have teeth. This was a tough one, and frankly, it's a tough thing to really even go on about. So first things first, here is Toothless Wake. My face was getting oily, and nothing was really working at the time. I couldn't decide if I wanted to have short hair or not, so I just kind of had this weird hodgepodge thing. And I had a ton of rubber bands in my mouth correcting jaw posture, which was brutal. So we did this for a while. Here's another photo of me during that period of time. Note the distinct lack of teeth there. We just didn't have them. So I was ironically dressing like a frat bro, and I would make fun of it. And now when I look back at it, it kind of looks like I was just really into it, and that's tough. Yeah, so this was when we started pulling the teeth down into position. We didn't have teeth before, but now there was like metal brackets yanking them down because they were all the way up in my bad dental care. No, so my teeth weren't coming out. I had baby teeth there all the way through the 8th grade, so I had to get them extracted essentially. And so they extracted the teeth, but then the teeth weren't coming down, so they had to go in and like fucking surgically pull them down with like a chain over the course of like a year. Here's another photo of me at my very best. Yeah. It was a good one. And I was very tall and lanky, too, which was weird. At least for my age. I think I'm 15 here. 15 was tough. 15 was brutal. All right, so now let's move on to 16. How did that look? Let's see. Oh, no. So this was 15. 15, I buzzed my head that summer, and I had a moment where I was like, oh, this kind of feels better, but it wasn't good. I started to cut my hair shorter, and that was fine, but then I let it all grow out thereafter. I don't know what angle I was putting my hat at, but it was neon, so it certainly was insufferable. It was very party rock. But yeah, that summer I started to look less weird over time. I had more of a face. You could see there's teeth now kind of coming into position there. So this is me at 15. Summer going into my sophomore year, I believe. And then it goes back, though. That's a false summit. Things start getting bad again very quickly. Oh, good one to lead with here. This is a really unflattering angle. Yeah. Yeah, man. The Rizzler. This year was weird. This was so weird. Sophomore year was like the real middle ground. It wasn't brutal, but I was like very, very in an uncomfortable position. Nothing was right at the time. I looked weird. I was weird. Just incredibly uncomfortable all the time. Nothing felt right. Oh God, yeah, we got to show. So I just grew out the buzz cut just straight. No trims or anything. So I just had this weird bowl on my head. God, this was a tough go. Yeah, we immediately backslid. It was a strong start, but it just immediately went backwards in every way. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This is a perfect summation of that period of time. Hold on. Oh fuck, now we're getting the good shit. Okay, check this shit out, chat. So this is kind of what we arrived at here. I just kind of had like a weird buzz cut, bowl cut thing, but I had all my teeth now, which was exciting. That being said, I just had this weird thing going on. This was I was still 15. Very fun glass. This is when those weird kind of like Clubmaster or what are those Ray-Bans? I don't even remember what they're called. They were just making like fake versions of that were multicolored. Do you guys want to see the single best smile you'll ever see, chat? Very enthusiastic. I think I'm melting here. Something was short-circuiting. I look like a retired animatronic mouse at the Chuck E. Cheese band. It wasn't a good go. Yeah, it was tough. So that was the start of my sophomore year, and then how did we start to level out there? Things started to get a little better, kind of. A little bit. Not by much, but a little bit. So yeah, I mean, we had a fullish set of teeth here, which was good. My face was kind of developing a bit of a shape. I think this was towards the end. We went back to the old haircut because it didn't feel good. But here we were. When were you able to grow a beard? I was able to grow like hair on my chin my like junior year. But I wasn't able to grow a full beard like that, like connected until I was like in my mid-20s. I wouldn't recognize you at all. Well, yeah, you're 16. It's weird. Androgens did a lot for me. Once all the, pubertal, like viralization stuff started happening, we were good. But that took time. What happens next? Okay, yeah, this was the same year here. Still brutal. Had an old dirty bastard shirt I wore like every other day. Nose was in, lower face had not developed yet. So I just had this really long schnoz, and the rest of my face hadn't really learned to be a face yet. It was a weird time for old Wake. Real weird. But it was around this year, people started saying things like, I think you'll be attractive one day. Which was weird and backhanded, but I took it, We needed the hope. When did I stop cutting my hair? When I was in college. They were like, one day you won't look like this, is what someone said once, which was okay. It was okay. You know what the nice thing is that as you kind of get older, you realize that it matters a lot less than you thought. The adoration of the public, that is. You know what I mean? All right, so let's move over. Yeah, how old is... I'm 28. So there was just a period of time where it's like, yeah, my face was clearly, like, not developed or whatever, but, like, I don't know. I didn't really care. It was weird. I was just in a period of my life where, like, I find that the weird thing about affirmation and validation is that, like, you start to crave it a lot more once you're given it. But if it's not something you expect at that time, you don't really yearn for it. It was a weird kind of like dissonance there. I don't know how else to explain it. Like the more you can stay divorced from the adoration of the public, the less the condemnation of the public is going to hurt you, right? Like the more you align and identify with the strong or affirming sentiments, the more you're going to align with or assimilate into your being the negative sentiments. You just can't do it. You know what I mean? So it's not a healthy thing. So let's fast forward a little bit here. So we get to the summer of that year of my junior year. So I got my braces off over that summer, and that kind of changed my whole thing. So I started to look more like I do now-ish, but I'm still really young, and I had kind of a fat face. This was me the beginning of that year, beginning of my junior year. So I think I'm 16 here, 16 going on 17. And it was just like a really sudden shift over that summer. Where I started to look way more normal. More like I do now, at least. I don't know if normal's the word. But my face started to kind of come in a little more. And then I think, like, let's see, like a couple months after that, I don't know, I just started to look more like masculine. Like, I can show you, like, a sequence of, like, 3 months of my junior year here. It was real weird. So, this is kind of how this went. This was, like, the summer of this was right before the summer going into junior year. So, I was 16 here. And then the next year... So this was the start of my junior year, and this was like, so that was just like a huge shift. Braces off, bite corrected, I cut my hair, I just looked older, felt better. And then this was like a couple months after that, where I just kind of started looking more like an adult. And then like a couple months after that, I just kind of looked like I do now-ish almost, a little younger. That was like 4 months, that was like 5 months. 5 months of my life. Like, this is going to be May of 2011. This is going to be August of 2011. September of 2011. This is November of 2011. Which was just super, super fast. No, man, yeah. That's just the way it happened. I didn't realize girls liked me either, because I was just so fucking unfamiliar with any signal of affection at that point. Because I was such a dweeb, man. All I did was play video games, hang out with friends. That's all I was into. Yeah, we just really started looking different real quick. And then, let's see. So that was 16. Do I have 17? We can go to my senior year now. That was kind of the whole evolution of junior year. I grew my hair out and it looked like shit after that for a little while. Yeah, so this was me this is me like my senior year. I think these are senior portraits. I don't know, my face changed. It was weird. Me at prom, being a dingus. Had the Ludwig hair. Yeah, this was all for babes. This was fun. Yeah, we were just given blue steel here. This was my very white suit I wore. I decided to wear a white tux to every prom I went to because I thought I was cool. So we did that, and then yeah, this was Wake Through the Years. This was Wake Through the Years, man. Changed real quick. Regardless, though, her right here. This is entirely, in every way, hello goodbye era. This is the Never Shout Never. I just know you owned one of those wooden surfer bead necklaces. I did when I was younger, but not when I got older. Like, I did when I was, like, maybe, like, in, like, elementary school. I had shark tooth necklaces and shit. Thought it was so cool. I don't know. I guess I, like, became, like, I physically changed so quickly and, like, pretty late into high school that it never really, registered. I don't know. I wasn't ever, like awkward, though. Like, I didn't look great. When I show people that who went through, like, a real devastating, like, I'm talking, like, first book of Harry Potter, Hermione awkward stage, they tend to look at me like I'm an asshole.